It is my position that we become obsessed
with free pizza.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, my God.
Actually, it's a good example. We become obsessed with what's right in front of us.
Yeah, we have.
Right? I mean...
I went out to see if there was any more of that FP, that free pizza.
I'm going to eat it.
It is gone.
Gone.
And gone. Because nothing worse than seeing an empty box of pizza or a box of pizza.
Oh.
And then you slowly lift the lid thinking...
Come on, baby.
Could there? Is it? It is high.
It might be.
But caught.
Oh.
It is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
But caught.
Yeah. And so as I lift open that lid and that pizza box and I saw nothing but grease stains, I thought, that's a good run.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong?
Totally.
Compostable, though, by the way. Now that it has those grease stains, that grease stain box, you can go put that in your compost bin.
Yeah, I left the box.
Yeah.
I'm not going to not get a slice and then, I'm going to do my civic duty.
Yeah. Is it
I'm not that good a guy.
Is it worse to open up the box and see it empty or open up the box and see toppings on it that you hate?
Empty. Because toppings can easily be picked.
Removed.
Classic pick and flung.
I'll tell you what.
Not a Mac McClung, a pick and flung.
You were making fun of me earlier for my new Kauai shirt.
Yeah.
And,
I wasn't making fun of you.
No, I know you were.
Pointing it out.
Pointing it out. Yeah. Like
cost you $50.
I'll take the under. Anyway.
Barely.
No, you're right.
Thank you.
Anyway, so it's kind of like shopping. You like people who love to shop, don't actually. There's two kinds of people when it comes to shopping. There's the people who are like, I've got something I need to go get, and I go in the store and I get it and then I leave. And other people are like, let's just go shopping. And I'm just kind of aimless. And if that becomes, and we know this is one of the things you can become addicted to in life, you just like, I see it. Oh, wow. I want it. I need it. I've got to have it. Right? Take my 14-year-old daughter to Target. Holy hell. It's on a repeat. Like I now need X, Y, Z, and all the other letters of the alphabet as well. We love what's right in front of us. This goes to the point I was making yesterday about the obsession that some fans have with young players. Well, Trey Lance is going to be amazing. And James Wiseman, the Warriors did a terrible job of developing him. And now look what they've done to Jordan Poole. And we fall into this trap of the team did something to the player to stop the player from growing, as opposed to putting the accountability on the player himself for growing and being coachable and getting better. We fall prey to that. And I think we're doing it in a little bit more of a subtle way. Matt Barnes is going to join us in an hour, and he was doing the Warriors Summer League broadcast yesterday, and he mentioned that the Warriors kicked the tires on Alex Len. And I think for most fans, it made sense. How tall is Alex Len? 8'3"? How big is that man?
He's got to be 6'11" minimum.
Oh, I think he's over 7 feet,
7'1", yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sacramento Kings backup center, Alex Len.
I got him at 7'2".
Perfect. This resonates with a lot of people because, quote, the Warriors need size. Do they?
Badly.
Explain.
They need to have a big that they can throw in there when they face other bigs in spots to be able to either defend, get a rebound, or preferably both. Because when they faced Anthony Davis, they had no answer. AD, Mr. Every Other Day, alternative days, he dominated you and he knocked you out. Even though he was not great every game, when he was good and interested, you had no answer for Anthony Davis.
That's an interesting way of saying it. So, like,
What's a fact?
He dominated them, except for when he didn't.
Well, he dominated them when he was motivated to dominate them, which was about half the time.
You're giving him a lot of credit. So, in other words, it's totally up to AD when he plays well.
Against the Warriors, yes.
When he didn't play well, the Warriors get no credit for that?
They get some credit,
okay.
But Anthony Davis, by his nature, he should be the best player in the association.
I agree with you, but that's
he should be unguardable 24/7 and 365.
Right.
But the reason why he's not, it's a him more than it is a them.
Okay, but if that's the case, then I don't know what some backup big is going to do for the Warriors in order to stop him. Like, I've always subscribed to the theory that the best offensive players in the game are either scoring or they're off. Do you know what I mean? Like, remember Matthew Dellavedova?
Yeah,
Where for
the Steph stopper.
For 3 days in our society, we decided that he was, oh my gosh, we found Steph's kryptonite.
Yep.
And Steph heard it for 48 hours and went, all right, youngins, watch this. And Dellavedova ended up in the hospital, okay? You can't stop the best players in the game when they're at their best.
You're talking about Dellavedova v. Steph. I think that this is more of a point where you're looking at Zion if he doesn't eat himself out of the league, or DeAndre Ayton, or other big guys who, if you had another big in there, and Alex Len last year played 16, he played basically 6 minutes a night for the Kings, and the year before he played 16 minutes a game. This is not a 35-minute a night legitimate, stopper big man. This is not Brooke Lopez. It's not Robin Lopez. It's not Jennifer Lopez. This is a guy who's a big body who you can throw out there maybe for 8 to 10 minutes and maybe muck it up a little bit.
Series changer, potentially?
No, but a guy who can maybe help you stem the tide in spots and give Draymond a break or Kevon Looney a break when you have to guard Nikola Jokic, for example.
I totally agree with you. However, I'm going to disagree that this is some sort of obsessive necessity for the Warriors. And you can weigh in on this because I know a lot of Warrior fans have been saying this. Got to add a big. The Warriors need size. And I keep thinking to myself, gosh, I think it was 13 months ago that the Warriors won a ring. And who was this 7'2" player they had then who stopped Nikola Jokic so that the Warriors could advance and defeat the Boston Celtics in 6 games?
Well, Jokic didn't have Murray, and he didn't have Gordon, and he didn't have any other real help. It was Jokic against the world.
And who knows who he'll have next year.
Well, he's probably going to have both of those guys.
Probably.
And more.
But maybe not. They got hurt last year. Maybe they'll get hurt again. I'm not saying I'm not saying you're sitting here hoping for injuries, but we know how difficult it is to repeat. You don't just show up and repeat. I know that that's the way we feel when we get to any offseason. Whoever just won is the favorite for next year. That's the way it works. But they usually don't win. You give me Nuggets of the field, I know damn well who I'm taking.
I'll the field for sure.
I'll take the field. Even in the West, I would take the field. I think is a better than 50-50 proposition next year. That's the way it works. So I just wonder if we're falling into a little bit of a trap here. I'm not anti-size. I'm not saying the Warriors should actively not go get this size, but I do think we're being a little reactive here. The Warriors need someone who can stop Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. I don't think that human exists, let alone does he exist as the 9th person on your bench who's going to come in and play 12 minutes. Who is the human on earth who slows down Nikola Jokic? I mean,
it's Draymond Green.
You already got him.
Right. But the idea of having another piece to throw at another big on another team, I think, is something you need if you're the Golden State Warriors. Do you need another 3-and-D guy? Do you need another guard, somebody who can jack up threes? I mean, Corey Joseph, nice piece, but what's he going to do to really precipitously help you in terms of what you need to get over in the Western Conference?
Well, I mean, he's a guy who, everyone's worried about Steph Curry and Chris Paul and minutes and health and all that. He's somebody who can come in and make good decisions for 12 minutes a night, like we're talking about. But on certain nights, you might need him to play 22, and he will not embarrass himself out there. Again, they're signing the same player over and over again.
Right.
It's a heady player. It's a player who will play within a team concept. I mean, listen, we know exactly what the Warriors are doing. Nobody wants to say it this way, but this is true. What are the Warriors signing this offseason? All of the anti-Jordan Pooles they can find. That's it.
Smart, sturdy veterans.
Yeah. People who don't force, people who don't fall over, and people who don't run against the tide when they're joining a dynasty. That's who they're signing. And to me, that's way more important than that player's height. Like the Warriors, in fact, at every moment of their dynasty where they've been successful, never once have they leaned on anybody who's north of 6'10".
Not leaned on, but they've had that as an option. They had JaVale McGee.
Sure.
They had Mo Buckets. They had David West, who is 6'10". They had options.
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
David West, 6'10".
I'm sure he's listed
Look it
as
up.
6'10".
I bet he's listed at 6'7", 6'8" max.
David West, 6'9". 6'9". We're going to split the difference there. And when he started in the league, he was probably 6'10". But as you get older, you get shorter. He's now 42.
That man is 6'7" and a hook at best. But anyway, go ahead.
How tall is Draymond? I mean, when we want to praise Draymond, he's 6'4", and when we think he's not doing well enough, he's 6'7".
No, we've been to practice. We've stood next to Draymond. What do you think he is? I think he's 6'7". Ish.
Tops.
6. Yeah,
Tops.
6'6", 6'7".
Well, and the thing about measurements, too, is shoes on and shoes off.
Right.
Because the shoe adds at least an inch, maybe an inch and a half.
I guess my point is that, like, I don't think it matters that much.
Well, my point is it's nice to have that piece to where you can throw that out there if you need it.
Right. Every time somebody's too short, be reminded of the fact that that's a problem for the other team, too. Right?
Depending.
The Warriors play small ball, and they play it really well. And it often means that big people are chasing smaller people around on the defensive side as well, and that's not easy for them either.
That depends on who they're chasing, because when you have Draymond and Kevon together on the floor, defensively, you've got one guy who can kind of take the play off. For the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to guard Kevon Looney.
Not away from the basket.
Even near the basket.
Yes, you do.
Just stand there with your hands up. You don't have to guard him in terms of, they threw it to Kevon in the low block. He's a threat to score.
Well,
you just got to box him out.
Yeah,
no, I love Kevon. I'm not trying to diss him.
You can't just leave him under the hoop. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's not like a problem offensively, but yeah, you can't just leave him. So you got to guard people. It's just funny to me. This is this narrative that's building. The Warriors need size. I think it's a reaction to what everybody just saw. And so maybe that would have been nice in this series against the Lakers, or had they gotten out of it and played the Denver Nuggets. But I think there's a flaw in the argument, which is, A, the Warriors have had no problem over the last 10 years, and they have never centered around 6'11", 7 foot. Number one. Number two, whoever you're going to go get at that size right now is not going to play a lot of minutes, is not going to be a series changer. So, in other words, let's say they had signed Alex Len. Now you feel like they're beating the Lakers in 6 games because Alex Len's on the team?
It would give them a better chance, I think, in certain spots and against certain teams to maybe come out on top. And I think Dario Saric is a better example of size, and he's 6'10", and I haven't stood next to him in socks, so I can't confirm or deny whether or not he is 6'10", but to me, you can get size in that way. Size who can spread it offensively,
yes,
and defensively maybe D the rim a little bit and clog it up.
That I love. I love the idea of Dario Saric.
What about Bol Bol?
I'm out.
You're out on Bol Bol.
I'm out
7'2".
on Bol Bol. I'm
size
in,
matters.
I'm in on how fun it is to say Bol Bol.
And son of a former Warrior.
Son of a Newt.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Which sounds like a cuss, but it's not.
You son of a
newt. I love that. But does he fit with what the Warriors are trying to do? No. I mean, he's the smallest 7'2" player in the history of the NBA.
Go Ducks.
Yeah, and go Ducks. That too.